But definitely it's conviction. It's when things go wrong is
Yeah.
certainly when it would have hit me the most.
That,
But
that's, for instance, now the case with Nike, right?
yeah,
With Nike, if you would just do it because whole internet is buying it because they say like, oh, it's a $65 now. Look how cheap it is. It wasn't 90 before. Typically the price anchoring, big brands and such, and you would just buy what many people do. So I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that. I made those rookie mistakes in my first few years.
yeah,
I had dividend cuts after that and such. And I just, the last, I don't know, 6, 7 years, I've never done that. Yeah, it's like, just read first annual report. You don't need to be a stock market hero. You can wait a few days. You don't need to do bottom fishing. And if it so happens to jump up 30% again, well, so be it. Yeah,
yeah.
there are more stocks in the stock market.
Yeah, but then what about someone like Nvidia? Because that's kind of fascinating. And I was going to ask you this earlier, but I knew we were coming to this segment. Like you've watched that presentation, you've watched
Yeah,
that whole thing, right? And you turn around and you say live on this, saying that looks like a once in a lifetime opportunity. It feels like history is repeating itself with a company like
yeah,
Apple, and you've seen what they've done. Bear in mind they weren't exactly a top class dividend company at the time when you
yeah,
bought them. Like, how do you control your emotions watching that, knowing that you're in the IT sector, knowing that you have knowledge around this and you
yeah.
can sense that this is going to be once in a lifetime? How do you control that emotion not to go and buy that company? Because I don't know if I could.
So I can, I really distinct the business from the stock. Yeah,
Okay.
so I have much appreciation for the business. The stock for me, the valuation multiples, they don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So they may be right, they may be wrong. One thing I learned over time, I can't. I struggle with such fast growing companies because what you end up doing is extrapolating this into the future. Yeah, and I don't know if this will be like if this will be for 10 years. So I would need to do a reverse cash flow and such with Nvidia. And if you then look at the company and if you then see what kind of cash flow needs to come in, it,
Yeah.
it just it just goes above my imagination.